Give me liberty. Oh man, I'm just thinking about liberty, as a word, no, as an idea, as something that we really want. That I think there's like a reason. I don't know exactly what it is. I didn't study it, but I think there's a reason we have a Statue of Liberty, not a Statue of Freedom, because I guess we have, freedom. We all have freedom. That's all guaranteed. Unless you get arrested or something. But we don't have liberty. That is to say, we all have liberty, but we don't have enough of it. Like we all want, more. Who has the most liberty? It's just rich people just have total liberty. They can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can start any kind of business. They can do anything, go anywhere. It just takes money, and that gives them total liberty to be at liberty to do whatever they want. But if you're poor, you just have you can't do anything. You're just stuck. And if you're if you follow the idea that in America, if you work hard, you do everything you're supposed to do, then you'll be all right. But I just don't see it that if you have to work like a job or two jobs just to have a decent place to live and some okay food, but that's it. That's all you really get. You don't have money for vacations. You don't have money for a big wedding. You don't have money to raise children, and if you do, then it cuts into your decent life, your decent place to live and your decent food. So it's really tough. And I don't feel like this has anything to do with who's the president. You know what I mean? I feel like it doesn't matter who it would be. The rich people who are kind of overlords in our society today, they're looking over. They have the money, and they could, even if they didn't have the money, they could get the money easily. They could borrow money and start businesses and create jobs for millions of people, overnight. They could do it. It's no problem. If there was some brand new business that came out and there was a lot of competition in it, these companies would be starting them left and right. If they found out, oh, people are going to stop downloading music and they're going to start selling CDs again, they would throw tons of money and start tons of jobs and whatever. I don't know. This is a shitty example, but it's really society and businesses that's creating all these people with no jobs and consequently have no liberty. For example, you could, alright, here's a good one. Since recycling came out, this is in my, in the last 10 years, in my lifetime, I remember before recycling became a thing in New York City, before you had to separate it and put it in different bags outside. I remember when that started. I was like a kid. So that was a big mistake, recycling. And you say, well, recycling good. No. Alright, the good part was when they said, okay, you could take your bottles and your cans and you get paid. Somebody brings those, they're worth money, you bring them, you get 5 cents or whatever. That had already been around. But when they started this thing where everybody do this job for free and just sort out your trash, and then we collect it, and we do what with it? They recycle it, and they turn it into new materials, and they get the money for it. What I understand is, how come that's not a job? Literally, instead of having everybody in the whole country doing it for free, essentially, why not say, alright, just throw away your trash, and this will be a job. This is the job of the waste management company or the whoever picks up the trash company or whatever. That's their job. They now are required to recycle this stuff. You can't just dump it in the dump. And you know who literally has to do that is the dump. And who owns the dumps? the cities, the townships, the states, whoever owns the dumps. So instead of saying to those people who are actually throwing the trash in the dump, saying, hey, you got to recycle this stuff, they go and they tell the people to do it for free. And people do a horrible job. I don't do it well. I'm sure a lot of people do it worse or better or whatever. But the fact is that that should have been somebody's job. I don't have extra time to fucking sort out trash. What? That's ridiculous. You're cutting into my liberty time. If I'm worried about, oh, what's going on in my trash, that's seriously, that's liberty time that I don't really have to spare. And on top of that, you're probably cutting out, I'd say, roughly 1 million jobs. I don't know how many people are unemployed in this country, but I'm sure 1 million of those people would like to be employed. All right, you're sorting out trash, but guess what? Pays well. You're a city employee, you get health benefits, yada, yada, yada. There's people doing, sewage work or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's about putting in hard work and doing something somebody else doesn't want to do because that's a job. I don't know if that has anything to do with liberty, but I feel like people are not at liberty to even do these things. This is getting wacky. I better shut this off.